Hi, happy Saturday. I forgot to, well, I didn't forget, but I never did get a video done last weekend, and I missed it. It was kind of funny. I feel like I'm visiting with people, which is crazy because there's nobody there, but I kind of missed doing it last week, but we were very busy and had a funeral to go to, and had a violin recital to go to for one of our granddaughters. Anyway, we were too busy and I never did get it done last weekend. But anyway, I'm back today. It's supposed to rain all weekend, and it has been raining, but it's stopped right now, and I was gonna thought I'd show you a couple of things. I've told you before that I compost. I have a compost pile, and I thought I'd go into it. I was carrying out my scraps for my compost pile, and I thought, hey, somebody might be interested to know exactly what I do, so I thought I'd show you. Real interesting, I know, but let me turn this camera around. Okay, I keep the little vegetable tray that, you know, like mushrooms come in, or I think this one actually is one that I bought some ground beef in. I washed it out, and I just set it on my counter, and I keep the week's worth of scraps there, and then on Saturday I carry them out to the compost pile. You'll see that I have onions and tomatoes and eggshells. That's mostly what mine is. A little bit of lettuce. I put my tea bags in there, but I just learned something the other day. Somebody told me that the tea bag itself doesn't break down, so that I need to, I plan on start opening those up before I actually put them in my pile. And so anyway, what I do is I just bring them out here. Oh, I guess I should show you, to my compost pile. And I throw them in. I kind of spread them out a little bit. I take, usually if my container isn't too bad, I take it back and wash it out and reuse it for several weeks before I throw it away. The eggshells, it takes them a long time to break down, it helps them go a lot faster if you'll crush them up and sprinkle the little pieces around. So I do that, and of course that can get really gross if they're still sticky, but if they've been in there a week, they're not usually sticky. And I usually spread these out a little bit, but you don't have to. And I'm going to come back and open up those tea bags. But anyway, I do that, and then after I've brought them out, all of them out for the weekend, I cover them up with leaves. I have lots of leaves all over the yard still, but that's some I raked up the other day. And I have no problems at all with any varmints getting in there. I've never had. One time, a neighborhood dog rummaged around in there, and he didn't find anything interesting. As long as you don't put any meat or any bones or anything like that in there. The only thing I get is sometimes I'll get some ant beds. But other than that, I don't have anything. So then, like I said, I just take my leaves. Okay, I'm going to have to set the camera down to put the leaves in there, I think. Let's see, I might can do it one-handed. There you go. So then I cover them up with leaves. I don't have any problem with smell. And I think that by covering them up with leaves every time, or grass clippings or whatever you have, that it doesn't look bad. It's just a pile of leaves. I don't think it's ugly. Now, I wouldn't put it in my front yard, but it works for me. Now, you'll notice here I actually have two piles. This is my original pile, and it's I'm just letting it sit there and break down. And in fact, when I get my gardens all ready, most of that top layer isn't broken down yet, but further down in there, there'll be some good compost there that I can actually put in my gardens and stuff. And so that's what that one is, just sitting there breaking down. I'm not putting anything else new in there. I've quit. And I've started, that's last year's pile. And I've started this new one, which will actually not be used until next year in my garden. So anyway, I thought I would show you that. And if you read my blog post about making a new flower bed, Grammy D, there's those 2 boards that bother you. It's funny. I've seen those boards that extend down a little bit, but it doesn't bother me a bit, and soon they'll be covered up with flowers. But Grammy D was telling me that her OCD wants to come cut those boards off for me, which really made me laugh. I thought it was hilarious. But anyway, my new flower bed is doing very well. I've got some grass to pull out, but I'm waiting for a good weekend, nice weather weekend. But my bee balm that I transplanted here is doing well. It has grown. It's, in fact, right here is sending up a new shoot. So it's doing well. This is the one of the red ones that I bought at Lowe's. This is the pink one that I moved from my mama's house in North Carolina, and I'm going to get some more because I love, love, love pink flowers. And then down here is the other red one. I bought 2 red ones at Lowe's last year. So anyway, it's growing nicely. And let me pick up my thing here and carry it back with me. My herb bed is doing good. I haven't bought any new ones yet. These are all the ones that have wintered over from last year. I have chives here at the end, and some kind of mint. Right this minute I can't tell you what it is. You have to be careful with mints. They will take over, so you don't want the whole. You need to keep them contained or pulled out or whatever. And then right there we have that's sage. And I have some parsley. Parsley will live for 2 years. It doesn't live forever, but it's a biennial. It'll live for 2 years. That's the curly parsley. And then I have the flat parsley. And I have a fennel. And some thyme. And that's all that's in here. The last frost date has passed for us, though, so probably next weekend I'll be buying some herbs and planting. Let me show you something else as we walk by. There's a peach tree blooming. It was already here, and I don't tend to it like I should, and I always say I'm going to get rid of it because it's not in good shape at all, but I can never get rid of it because look at that. How can you get rid of something that looks like that? As I said, I love pink flowers. But as we're walking by the apiary, I thought I'd show you what's happening. You've heard the term, busy as a bee. They are just going, going, going. They're so glad it's quit raining so they can get out and do their business. When it's raining, they stay inside and don't go to the bathroom until it quits raining and they can get outside. So anyway, they're happy that it's not raining. That's one of them. And then this is just boxes stacked there. There's nothing in that one. And then here's the other one. Oh, I can't find a good place to step. There's the other one. You can see it's busy, busy too. That one has more bees in it than the first one does. But they seem to be doing well. We moved them recently. We had not actually put them in the apiary until it was about a week ago when we had that last cold spell. We moved them from just right over there under that tree where you see those 2 gray flower pots sitting under that tree. It's about, I don't know, 30 feet to over here to the apiary. We had never gotten them moved over here before. But they seem to have taken the move just fine. Okay, I got something interesting I want to show you. Last thing I want to show you for this morning is pollen season is here. And from my friends that live in the north, I have learned that they don't have pollen season like we do, and don't understand. But we had a heavy rain this morning before I got outside, and I want to show you what the rain washed. This is pollen that was on cars and on Mr. Minnis's car and on whatever the chairs I have sitting around, and it's washed down to the lowest spot on the cement here, driveway. And it's pretty. It's kind of pretty. It makes a great art design. But anyway, and this is not the heaviest. Our cars, when I go to work, I actually park inside the garage. And so when I drive to work and park in the morning at 8 o'clock, when I get back in it at 5 o'clock, my car will be just obviously covered in a yellow powder. So that's the problem with having things outdoors. Let me show you this. Everything becomes covered in pollen. These are my chairs, the cushions I have inside in the garage, but you know, it's everywhere. It's all over the deck. I don't know if you can tell that that's pollen. But anyway, I didn't know that everybody didn't have that, but that's what we have. That's another problem that I actually have with the upper deck that is screened in. Pollen comes in there like crazy, and so everything I have out there, every year I have to wash down to get the pollen off of it. But there's no need to do it now. You need to wait until after pollen season is over. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you this stuff this morning, and good to be back, and thanks for visiting with me, and we'll do this again soon. Bye.